to say it. That's the actual title of my speech. And I know many of you guys are probably thinking, Anita, that's the actual concept you're supposed to be talking about in the communication manual, but why is that the title of your speech? Well, today, guys, I'm literally going to show you how to say it. Now, I believe that everybody has been put on this earth and everybody has a life purpose. For example, Bertha and Cindy, they're so good at helping other people and they take such a genuine interest in others, and I believe that they're very good at what they do. For me, for example, as an actor and a singer, one thing that I pride myself in being able to do well is speak well. I believe that my voice is one of my strongest assets. Today, Toastmasters, I'm going to be teaching you how to use different accents or how to reverse your accent and sound more American, traditionally American. However, I'm just going to be showing you what I've learned through my experience, and I believe that we need to start at the source of language as opposed to thinking in our minds, oh, I want to sound French, I want to sound American, I want to sound English. We have to think about how many consonants that they use on a daily basis in their own language, how many vowels they use. I'm going to start with the basics. A consonant is basically the k or the sounds, these very tough sounds that you hear in language. They're more forward. Vowels are things like A, E, I, O, U, kind of more elongated, and they sound more suave. I'm going to show you an example of Asian languages. In Asia, for example, they do not use a lot of consonants. They use a lot of vowels. So if you want to have an Asian accent, you've got to include that into your language. I'm just going to give you an example of what I think is Chinese, even though I don't know a word of Chinese. A lot of Asian cultures, they sound like this when they're talking, like, okay, so even though I have no clue what I just said, totally embarrassed myself up here. What I'm saying is that the tip of my tongue barely touched the roof of my mouth. There was no consonants in what I said, essentially. And thus, when a lot of Asian Americans come to the United States, they will actually use less consonants, even though English uses more of them. For example, they'll say, I went to the car, I got a noodle. Alright, so I know they barely touch the top of their mouth with their tongue. There's other cultures, for example, like Russian and German, that are very, very forward. They almost overdo the consonants. For example, a Russian person might sound like this. Hello, my name is Amira. If you do not eat my sandwiches, I will kill your family. Okay, so it might sound something like that. Then there are other cultures, for example, that use the same amount of consonants and vowels as traditional English language. However, they have different dialect. For example, Indian people. I love Indian culture, and they use this kind of like in the back of their throat. Even though they have the same amount of consonants and vowels, they have like this up inflection with their throat. For example, hello, my name is Anita. Thank you for calling Microsoft. How can I help you today? With a lot of Indian culture, they have like this, how can I help you today? Like it's kind of like an up inflect at the end of a lot of sentences. You've got to look at the source of the culture so you can translate that over to when you do speak in their accent. Some cultures are more irregular. Some cultures, like African cultures, will actually use consonants at the beginning of their sentences, but by the end of the sentence, they will actually abandon them altogether. For example, the word Toastmaster. We say in the United States, we say Toastmaster. But in Africa, they'll use consonants at the beginning and leave them off at the end. So it'll sound like this, Toastmaster, right? Toastmaster. Like they'll leave the end off. And with this, Toastmasters, I hope that I've helped you all understand the origins of language. In order to actually sound like a person of a different culture, you've got to look at their language. Or if you want to reverse your own accent and sound more American, you've got to start looking at how your culture uses consonants, how your culture uses vowels, and And you gotta look at those tendencies to see how you can help your own self. With that, Toastmasters, I hope that I've helped you, and I hope that I've allowed you all to see into the world of other people and how their languages work. Thank you.